jostling for that ESL Pro League position. And that'll be the likes of Talon, who we haven't really seen play too much domestically. And as far as I know, they're pushing a lot of their games back, so we won't really get to see them at the start of this season. But they'll probably be like your Talon, your Rooster, maybe your Mind Freak, maybe your House Bets kind of in that conversation for a top spot. And then I'm interested as well to sort of see the middle of the pack, what the rebuild looks like for Vantage, KZG as well, how Art of War is going to be going into this year as well. And then Mantra, I mean, maybe an interesting roster there as well with the addition of Skull coming in. I think that could be potentially quite cool. So those will be, I think, the teams to kind of keep an eye on. But regardless, tonight, it's all about Vantage and Underground, and we will get to have, again, a look at this new look Vantage, who, as of yet, have not played a game in ESL Challenger League this season. So this is their first for the season, and I like the names that they've got here on paper, but I'm not liking the start to the game. Mingovi getting the head off of one already. That's Omichella, and Mechanical also falling. So this is already, not a bad start at all for Vantage.
I mean, kind of rock, paper, scissors there at the end of the day, because Underground going for this hut control into taking long, smoke to elevator, nice open plant for Plat, wanting to play that after plant there. Losing a pick through the smoke, and the dry walk up middle straight up the guts from Underground, from Vantage rather, very early on, puts them in a fantastic position with the double flank. So not really much you could have done as Underground. Unfortunately, they did get the plant down though, so we'll see if they do buy round 2. Seeing a lot of familiar names who we did get from challenges past. Drox and Super on the same team are some pretty solid up and comers. We've got Jinx as well. Jinx and Jinxie on the same team. Don't know if I've seen Jinxie, but I've seen Jinx for sure. Mingovi's been doing some IGLing and things like that. Underground not going for the round 2 force though, just going to buy up some pistols, try and do some economic damage off the back of that bomb plan and keep things rolling, but Drox is in bully mode with the A1S up on Catwalk.
Which is exactly what you want to be doing in a round like this one. Just make sure you're getting it locked in nice and clean. It does seem like Vantage might have been in some way, shape or form expecting that force buy, but not going to be getting it. Went into the 3 rifles, and so really what we're looking for here is 3 rifles taken through. Obviously, any kills on SMGs or SMGs taken through will be of benefit, but that's nice and clean from Mingovi. Not having too many issues at all. The remaining 2 players spotted out in middle, and everyone's going to survive. So for Vantage, great start to the game. 5 guns alive in round number 2, but Underground did take that save, so they're going to have a really good buy here to start things off in round 3.
Yeah, pretty big util advantage on the CT side right now, which will do them a lot of favors on Dust2, at least the way that it used to play. So Ts are going to have to either go down to Galil's or be a little bit more picky about where they want to invest their util. Early on, looking like an Xbox smoke already being prepped here by Night Raid. And Underground with a decent spawn for long. We'll see if they take advantage, really committing a lot of players to holding long. Underground recognizing that he didn't quite have the spawn that they wanted to take, but they are actually going to go for a late take. Flash is flying up over the top, and Drox forced it back here. Does seem like Jinxie wants to stick around and fight, but that might not be a great idea. They're just peeking into 3 or 4 rifles, and they've been punished heavily for that.
Yeah, I mean, a 3rd player there actually would have made a really big difference. Mingovi, though, was worried about short instead of committing to the long fight alongside the rest of his teammates. So he's going to drop that smoke to stop the progression from Underground and just sort of sit behind it. Inevitably, nothing doing really from Underground.
I mean, that's not really going to change too much, though. They still have a player advantage. Coops is doing a good job holding on to control of the middle of the map. Jinx hasn't made any aggressive pushes. I think a lot of the time when you see this long control early on and fight over long, especially if you're in a man disadvantage situation, you want to see the CTs go aggressive somewhere. I feel like in a lot of the higher tier games, we'd see an upper dark push or something like that here. I don't mind the fact that Super's kind of probing for a pick on Cat. You definitely need to get something going.
Yep. Ideally want it to come from one of these 2 rifles, though Coops' position is a little bit too strong, and so he'll win himself an easy aim duel. Super just kind of getting the short end of the stick there in terms of the scissors, paper, rock battle. Yeah. This is almost now safe territory for Vantage, particularly if they could recover one of those rifles. I think they're both over towards the A site, though, so more than likely just going to be looking for even an AK. Is there an AK here on short? Or the rifle here?
Maybe Galil?
I think the M4... It got juggled back. Yeah, the Galil got juggled back a little bit, but not too far.
Yeah, Coops went for the upgrade there, so Look, a little's better than nothing, saving onto those 2 rifles, but I think the mid-rounding was a lot better for Underground there. I don't like the fight on long that Vantage took. Definitely didn't go well for them. Maybe the flashes not giving them enough. If they had flashed above them or not, I wasn't sure. But, usually when you want to reaggress for that long fight, right, you want to be aided by utility. You want to create some favorable chances for yourself to win duels. And it didn't really feel like any of those Underground players were really bothered too much by util, right? It was just 2 CTs kind of peeking into 3 or 4 T rifles who had already established that long control. And it didn't really feel like there was a clear call from Vantage about whether the protocol there was to fight long in the early to mid round there, or whether it was to fall back and try to jostle for short control or something like that. So that indecision ends up going poorly for them, and Underground slowing things down. Then mid round got a lot more out of the mid round than Vantage did, who didn't really do anything, right? Just the upper dark B player sat where he was for pretty much the whole round, and Super just waiting on Cat ends up getting picked. This round, though, long control taken by Vantage, and Underground will respect that. They've got the doors smoked down, and it looks like they're looking for control of middle, and they're just going to respect that long control for now.
Yeah, now we'll get to see what the CT round was supposed to look like for Vantage, because, I mean, in an ideal world, this is how things would have gone last round as well. Just going to drop Jinxie off outside the bedroom doors. That's fine. He's got a molly. He's got an MP9. That's fair enough. Rotate that extra player of drops back up to short to try to bolster the defenses over there. It seems at the moment, though, that Underground are more than happy. Again, like you said, just to kind of weight things down. Similar approach to the last round.
Yeah. Mid to B smoke for pressure. Forces the drop there from drops, so less players committed to Cat. See Riley just sitting around long, playing that anchor position. There's the short take rather, molly up top with the flash to give Underground control of short, but with 50 seconds on the clock, they've got to make a decision. CT utility is starting to fall by the wayside a little bit. Molly out onto the close position, and flash over the top does flush out Jinxie. He's going to return his own Molotov and keep himself safe, and Vantage wants to secure that long control. They're continuing to delay at short, but it looks like Underground are actually going to change up what they want to do and maybe go mid to B here.
It's not a bad call, though, from Vantage. Like, they've done a pretty good job of holding on to long, but what are they going to do with it? Early information, surely, now that this is going to be towards that B site. Mid to B smoke goes down. Jinx ready for the fight. He'll get himself one, and Mingovi another. So already not a bad start. Super locking it down very nicely on the B side. It seems like Vantage should win this round, but with 9 seconds left, maybe a chance for Riley. 2 quick shots. Needs to find one more, and Super hiding behind the box. Has not quite been found in time, but was eventually. That was very nearly a nice clutch from Riley. Still, 3-1 is the scoreline for Vantage.
With only 1 player surviving in the server, though, both teams very bankrupt at this point. So round 5 going to be a very important swing round. Util's a lot better on the T side. So look, he doesn't win the round, but he does a lot of damage to that CT economy. Takes a lot of util out of their hands and makes this round very winnable for Underground. They've got a B spawn as well. Wouldn't mind the B rush call, given how low the CT money is, right? Like, you do have a molly on Jinx, but outside of that, not too much. But you can see the double lower dark push here. New Dust2 does provide a lot of opportunities for CT aggression. And look at that, 1 minute 40. No smoke at the back of bedroom. It's a smoke backside of tunnels. What a spray or a nade. I didn't see what that was from Jinxie. As Underground came out long, they took a lot of damage.
I think it was
surely
just
Vantage don't fight this.
I'm pretty sure it was just him shooting, because there was a lot of flashes getting layered over the top there from Underground. I reckon he was just maybe blind spraying from the corner.
Yeah, I mean, got a lot of value out of that MP9 if that's the case. This is an interesting game state. You would not see this on old Dust2 at all. Lower dark control was something that was a little bit less common, and even you've got Super kind of probing upper dark, so this is really going to force Underground to be put through their paces, trying to re-clear middle. It's taking a lot of utility, and they're getting a lot returned back in their face.
In saying that, though, Vantage running short on that util, but Drox getting the opening kill and will get out, at least for the moment, alive, although that may still come into question as he crosses the sightline of Omichella. Mingovi's going to push him through the mid doors. I don't know how he gets 2 there, but he does. And it's falling apart for Underground. Super waiting for Omichella. And that is looking like a very nicely executed round in the end for Vantage. I mean, they got so much work done with all of that util at the start of the round, the chip damage, and it snowballed from there.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity for the reset for Underground. Coming back and re-clearing middle after you lost lower dark like that, That's so tough, man. Like, the crossfire between Cat, Lower Dark, and Mid Doors is absolutely brutal to try and recontest as a T side. I just don't really know how you tackle that. Do you have to go back and retake Upper Dark? Do you have to smoke one of the sides off, like smoke off Lowers or something like that, and scale up Cat? I'm not really sure what the answer to that is this day. Double Molly's going to shut Underground out of bedroom once again. Long control in the favor of Vantage, and Underground no util at all this round. Just going to whip out the pistols and try to get something done.
Yeah, full stack into middle. Only one player with armor. That's Omichella. Mechanical and Coop's already having gone down. Looking like a pretty easy day at the office so far for Vantage. A little bit of a hiccup in that one round, but aside from that, they've definitely looked like the more switched on team, and for the most part, I feel, Pilsky, it's getting easier and easier as we're going on.
Yeah, the Underground really missed that reset window in, what was it, round number 5? And since then, it's kind of felt quite easy for Vantage. 4 alive in the previous gun round, and then anti-eco, that went very nicely, and you can see just how much money that's given them access to now. So Underground starting to get onto struggle streak. Going to take a couple of gun rounds in a row to start pressuring this CT economy. Omichella, a player that we've touted for a while as being a big up-and-comer, actually got himself a spot in one of the top teams at the end of last year. Was doing pretty decently for himself, but not having the best game here.
Yeah, makes way for PZ back in house bets. But either way, another opening duel going to go the way of Vantage. Coop's on the floor again. Long control established for the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, this Vantage team is kind of a sleeper. Like, oh,
they're quite good.
Jinx is doing not too bad with the I can't remember, the Fortnite mixers team, you know, and then having Drox and Super on the same team is kind of like, you know, these are 2 riflers that they've had great stats in ECL kind of competitions.
It's a nice roster that's been put together, and hopefully the fruits of that labor are being witnessed right now, and it's going to be a consistent kind of a thing, because if this is the level that we get from them, again, I probably would still have them in that middle pack more so than pushing the top of the pack, just on a paper basis. But
if things really click, they could be like, you know, just below that.
Super has been super solid today. Now he's over towards the A site instead of the B site. His toes are getting tickled a little bit by that molly, but no one has cleared Goose. And now you look like a Goose.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a nice setup. Vantage have the personnel. They've never really been pushed off that long control. Like, what Underground really need at this point, I think, is a late long take that works for them, where they can pressure short first and then go back and re-clear long, something like that, or maybe mid to B pressure, drag the rotate across, and then isolate that long lurker. Might work out a little bit better for them. Mingovi's having a great game too. I mean, he's someone that I think people are more so discussed as like someone that's been doing IGLing on the lower level teams for a while. But he's just quietly kind of having a decent game fragging wise as well.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be seeing the changes in approach or the adaptations from Underground, but I think they're kind of running out of time to really even display much of that. Not too many rounds left in this half, and as you can see, they're once again down to pistol and armor, so it doesn't really give you a huge amount of options. They do have 2 smokes, a few flashes. It might just be a bust out middle, regression smoke. But where are they going to go with this? I mean, you go into CT spawn here and you're kind of doomed.
CT for sure. I don't know why they're trying to take this duel. Yeah, even with a messy spray like that, they barely do anything to Mingovi, and now we're just running dry through a long smoke. That is pretty questionable. I mean, Coops literally has the smoke from the cross sitting right on his belt. I know they can nade open the smoke nowadays, but should at least give it a crack and try to go mid to B, right?
Well, I mean, that would be my thinking as well. I guess they're just trying to hope that they can win a duel, like do something a little bit unorthodox, maybe trade that rifling player in CT spawn down, but unable to do so. And frankly, it's felt like they've been unable to really make any inroads in the majority of these aim duels. Like, I mean, just you can just look at the numbers, right? 9-3, 9-2, 11-3. Like, that tells a story of its own. On the other side of the field, someone else has to be you know, kind of eating it, and it's Omichella 0-8, Coops is 2-7, Night Raid's 2-7. Night Raid's our player to watch. We haven't really been watching much of him because he's been dead most of the time, and now he's got the AWP in hand, so hopefully this will be where he's actually able to do some work, because obviously that is his favorite weapon.
Yeah.
And they need something to get them back in this half.
It's a 1-3-1. Not something you would have seen too much on old Dust2, but like we said, CT aggression can work out well for you. Little tower boost with a lower dark player off the back of that contact. Underground creeping into middle now.
Super. Again, set up for success, and he's just too sharp. They're just better tonight. That's really where I feel a lot of the difference is being made. I mean, Vantage, are they not just shooting so much cleaner?
Yeah, they have. I mean, these players are usually shooting pretty good, man. Like we've mentioned it a couple times, but Drox and Super are kind of some sleeper picks in ECL. Like if you're like a fantasy enjoyer or something, and you're like, I reckon this guy is going to get me some numbers, but he doesn't cost much. Those are the kind of players you'd pick.
Well, this is starting to get a little bit awkward for Vantage. There was just a little bit of a roadblock, kind of traffic jam type situation on short there, and it resulted in a couple of players now having gone down. Jinx is in an interesting position here, to be fair. He might actually be able to catch Mechanical on a timing. Well, Mechanical's now seen him. That Molly will deny any possibility of that, and they're not going to be enough.
I think Mechanical is going to know for sure that the B anchor is still alive. Unless he's getting jinxing confused. Does go down, but his job's kind of done. They've now established themselves in this 2-on-2 and post plan.
Oh! Whoa! Okay. Riley has gone down, and Night Raid's position is to be expected on short. They've spotted him out. Second player jumps up the boxes, up trash, and won't quite be able to land his shots. This is still a tough round to win for Jinxie with only a flash available. He's just got to try and swing and win that duel. Flash is great. But if you sit the defuse against an AWP on this line, you are not going to win this round, unfortunately, Jinxie. He had to go for the swing there. In the end, Night Raid's just going to back away, and Underground will win, but that, honestly, in a couple of those cases, felt like maybe Vantage cooked that round a little bit more than Underground won it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think that's a round you can really replicate on the side of Underground at the end of the day. So, look, it's a round that they've scraped together. You're going to have to scrape as many rounds together as you can, to be honest, given the fact that Vantage's money's built up so much, right? Like, the CTs are never going to run out of money at this point. It's up to Underground to find the formula, solve the formula enough times to get themselves a respectable round count. This is the first time they've started so heavily towards Upper Dark, and it looks like Night Raid already lining himself up a smoke, so might be in for a B-pop here.
Jinx, he's been waiting for this the entire half. It's his turn. It's his time. He gets to have some fun, finally. He gets himself two, which is not a bad shout at all. Gobi, unfortunately, not landing that shot, is actually going to allow Underground into B. So we'll see Vantage tested once again. They've got some util here. Nades doing some chip damage, but more importantly, a couple of mollies still should be enough to help them out.
Creeping up for the retake here. They're waiting for that Upper Dark smoke to clear, so Drox can get a little bit of a line. Molly to Car could be huge.
Night Raid in a tough spot there. Especially having now lost a couple of his members, and it's too easy in the end for Vantage. That was really a nothing retake. I mean, a good flash over, obviously. Numbers prevailing. And 8 on the board now for Vantage.
Just folded him, mate. Looking like a pretty one-sided half at this point. Bomb plant gives Underground plus the loss bonus at least enough to put something together if they want to, but they're opting to min-max the money instead. Hero rifle or two, couple of techies and armor, Mac 10. You know, maybe try and do something a bit faster. They did get into a B side after plant, so quite honestly, I respect the decision to just give it a go again, right?
Run it back. Omni with the AK here. See if he can crunch some numbers in. Nade. Going to be a good one to slow things down a little bit, but Jinx couldn't see much, and so he'll drop pretty early. So the cross into the site has not happened for Underground, and Coops is going to drop as he attempts to clear window. 4-on-4 for the retake this time, but with Mechanical and Raleigh being quite low, you have to imagine that Vantage are going to get this one done nice and clean once again. Mingovi, bit of a whip onto Mechanical. Shouldn't be a massive worry. He's quite low on HP. The retake has to happen. Flash over the top. Super cleans one up. Nice on the entry, but Omicella with that AK. We talked about it. Had to be the difference maker in this round, and so far has been. Mingovi will not have time to win it anymore. 3 quick kills out of that AK. And all of a sudden, Underground are starting to get rolling.
Yeah, I mean, that's the star power that Omicella can put together when he's feeling himself. He's had a real quiet game, especially for a game of this level. Like, this is the kind of game he should be farming a little bit, but yeah. Able to at least get Underground 1 round together. See if they can make it 4 after a pretty rough half where it feels like not a lot has gone right for them. I like the decision, though, especially given their weaponry and what they were working with to try to run it back into B. Nice layer of flashes over onto gate side just created enough of an issue for Jinx to roll him over with the Mac-10 and a couple of Tech 9s. And then B is one of those notoriously difficult sites to retake in CS for the longest time on Dust2.
Yep.
Underground changing up their approach this time, though, going for a 3-1-1. Pressure on Upper Dark, maybe looking for a B pick here with Night Raid's ult. And if that doesn't go well for them, then they can still work towards mid and maybe try to go for some cap control or go for a little bit of a low play out of long out rather. They've got a lot of options open to them still. So didn't get the pick they were looking for. So now we have to see what their plan B is going to be here.
Bit of a probe at those mid doors, but nothing coming from it. Jinxie on a cheeky little line. He's going to get that bink onto Raleigh. And expecting some more assistance. He's sticking around. 1 bullet remaining. Has to get that reload off. That could have been awkward, but he's really backing himself. And why not? Hitting the shots. Mechanical will drop. Nice reply, though, from Raleigh. 5 HP gets the job done. Overall, still not too bad for Vantage, but a win for Underground as they take long and maintain the numbers.
Yeah, Kutz has got to activate a little bit here in mid. Maybe try to create a little bit of pressure because it's a bit one-dimensional from Underground right now. 30 seconds. They've got to get moving, and it really doesn't feel like they're doing much of anything right now.
Yep, you're going to be blocked by a smoke as well. Not necessarily blocked. Obviously, you can go through it. Molly fizzles a car as well. That is not good news at all because that's going to allow Drox to do exactly that. A little bit of a mis-execution from Underground, maybe breaking under the pressure there. And that'll be 9-3 at the end of the half. A very, very solid one for Vantage. Things are looking good.
Days gone, I won't waste another one. Oh, that darkness, it won't set me back again. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. greatness. It will fill the air around. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. Let the future escape. Back to you.
So, second half, ready to get underway, and I think Underground would probably prefer it didn't, because they're down 9-3. Going to have to crack on into things. Pissed around, all important on this CT side.
Yep, going to have to get themselves off to a much better start. Had a pretty slow start to this game so far, Underground. 3 players are ready here on B, though, and that does seem like the side of choice for Vantage. See if this crossfire between Plat and Car is going to do them any favors. Looks like Mechanical may flash in front of Heaton when the T's come in as well.
3 players on the site is about as good as you're going to ask for as Underground for this B play. Door smoke, bit of tapping there from Coops. Nothing really too substantial connecting, but now the headshots are starting to filter through, and they have no idea that Mechanical is at Car. Finally, they've figured it out. The cross comes through, and here comes the attempt at the refrags. They are looking good. Vantage got a couple of kills courtesy of Jinx and Super. Bomb plant down, and round 1 for Vantage. 10-3. It was a good start for Underground, but they ran out of steam.
There's no one's hitting any shots, mate. Like, you can't get a much better setup on B than that. Like, the Plat player took about 8 shots, didn't kill anyone. They had double flashes to Heaton and a 3-way crossfire as they came out tunnels, and they still couldn't clean up that B hit. I mean, if you're not getting that round, then it's probably time to go next. Upper dark push.
Got another crack here.
Spotted.
Big nade.
Oh, it's got on
Molly
his head.
in onto the stairs. I don't even know what's going on. It's an absolute mess, but it looks like Vantage are coming away with the advantage. Just got no idea where Night Raid is, and they're a little bit terrified that there could be another player here in Upper Dark, which they will be proven correct in.
Yeah, they got good spacing. They got the numbers. Low players going first. It's good protocols. Oh, the dinks coming out from Night Raid. That's unreal that he's won that. That should have been a trade from Vantage every day of the week.
I'm not going to lie. I've looked away. I thought that round was over, and I've looked back, and there's 3 CT kills.
I mean, the first kill was a low player insta-dink. The second kill was really nice, like multiple dinks in a row. Good control of the MP9, good crosshair placement. The third should have been a trade from the T. I think that was a bit of a whiffage. And just, you know, decent shot from Night Raid. Should have been the round for Vantage, and they're going to try to run it back to B here with a force bite.
No time for charm. Anyone playing Firefighter? Doesn't look like it. We're just going to go straight on through it. Vantage get the opener. Super. He's been so damn good. But they still need to find Mechanical, and they got to do it quickly. They will drop him. He's got himself 2, so it'll be a 3-on-3 for the post plant. Never mind. A grenade catches Jinx. So he tries to get that bomb on the floor. So now it's down to 2, and the flank coming through from Mingobi. They've sussed that one out, which leaves Drox alone, and he's dealt with. Underground begin their campaign on the CT side.
Getting going sooner rather than later. Courtesy of a big play from Night Raid. That's not what we had in mind when we picked him as our player to watch. We were more so thinking of the AWP flicks and, you know, the flashy plays this man can deliver sometimes. Not really of an MP9 1v3 clutch, but you'll take what you can get as Underground right now, given the start that they've had into this game. It's going to be a great chance for them to start to build up that CT money on this anti-eco, and look at 6-10 with a decent economy behind you. This game becomes pretty winnable. They just need to lock in, bro. You know, that's your favorite saying.
They do. Lock in, bro. Lock in. Ooh. Omi. Ooh. He's locked in.
He's turned his monitor on for the ecos.
Yeah.
And I respect it, honestly.
That's KD's looking a bit better. It used to be 0-8.
Yeah. Four ecos, and all of a sudden you're one of the best players in the server. Easy.
All right, let's see what Vantage can do about this. Would be a little bit disappointed to see them let this kind of bleed out in the way that it has felt like it started to. Can this T side look as good as the CT side did?
Big long contest. Molly's exchange, flash up over the top, underground. I mean, they're happy with that. Straight through the smoke, and they're happy to just leave it. Just get out of dodge. Chill with the numbers advantage. Going to smoke off long for now. Leave good old Omichella at car and reaggress over on catwalk. This round has started fantastic for them. This really could be the start of a pretty nice comeback on the CT side here.
Ooh, another molly that fizzles at car.
Yeah,
So
they're hard
go
checking
back
in,
into
but
the servo and crack that one, but is it enough to get into the site itself? 3 on 4. Need to hit some nice entries here. Super might be the man. He's 18 and 7 on that entry roll right now. Having a look for it, but nobody giving him anything.
oh, the nades. There's an artillery harassing the T's as they try to get this plant down. A molly onto default. Flushes Jinx back. He's stuck in Goose. No one's checked Gandalf. Night Raid still undiscovered. And the flash up over the top reveals his position. And the rest of Underground not even needed to close in because Night Raid's got it covered. Another really nice CT gun round. Loss bonus starting to build up on the T side here. So Vantage may consider the buys, or honestly, given that there was 3 players surviving and the money's still so good, a half buy wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility. Maybe mix a couple of rifles in there. But look, it's an ECL game at the end of the day, Jordan. Things can turn around when you least expect it. And it really feels like Underground are vibing with the CT side right now.
I wonder if that tilt is starting to set in a little bit for Vantage. They'd be thinking this should have been wrapped up by now. VRS points on the line. Now Pilski. This is a ranked event. There's no more irrelevant matches in the world of Counter-Strike anymore. Even if it's quote-unquote a dead rubber. So you get those VRS points, and that can be a big difference maker later on down the track. Jinx gets the trade onto Omichella, but Mechanical and Night Raid are there to clean it up through middle.
Wow.
So another easy round for Underground.
Feels like a tale of 2 CT sides right now.
Definitely.
But look, this is where Vantage finally get a good buy together. They can get an AWP if they want one. They can get full util. Rifles on all these players. No more excuses. Time to crack on into the game. Going to take a lot of gun rounds consecutively to start to pressure this CT money, though. Poorest player on Underground has got 5 grand, so they are max chilling. Govi looking for a pick towards long. Not quite found the timing there. And Underground will secure control of long for now. Vantage have already thrown the util towards mid doors. Molly up to Cat. Flush up over the top. And now the AWP's going to be moved back over to Catwalk.
Well, the good news for Vantage is they haven't lost a player early in the round, which has been a bit of a problem for them.
Yeah. Very self-sufficiently. Mingovi's got himself catwalk control as well. Mid to B smoke to apply a little bit of pressure. But Omichella not too worried about that. There's the lurk smoke out tunnel. So a lot of pressure on middle and B right now. And that smoke isn't really doing anything. Drox has already made it to stairs. Night Raid might go down if he's not ready for it. Flash up over the top. Oh, beautiful. Mingovi's gone down in the meanwhile, though. So bomb dropped on Cat for now.
Super seems to have a real suspicion that Omichella's somewhere around the doors. He's trying his best to clear it out. Wasn't prepared for Mechanical. And Omichella gets Jinxie as well. So we are back to a 3-on-2. They need to recover the bomb. Jinx doesn't want to overpeak this. He's kind of waiting for Drox, which actually might have been his undoing in the end there. Now a little bit too little for Drox to do a 1v3. I guess it's not impossible. We've already seen it this half, but it won't be happening this time. 10-9. And that scoreline grows ever closer.
It does. Really feels like it's Underground's game at this point. Vantage has just not shown us anything too much on the T side so far. Although, I could see the macro coming together in that round. They worked cat control, applied pressure pretty well. It really just fell apart in the mid round with Omichella starting to actually play the game. to the standard that we know that he can play it, you know? He really did not do anything on the early stages of the T side, but considering he was 0-8 or 0-9 and now he's 16-15, that really just kind of tells you that this man has gotten active and started to lock in a little bit. Night Raid's doing well as well. I mean, these are some of the guys that have been farming the lower levels of the national events for quite some time. So this is their comfort zone, really. Attack timeouts coming for Vantage, though. They've got a bit of a B spawn. Let's see what they've come up with.
Definitely feeling like a bit of a fumble at the moment from Vantage. But it's not done just yet. Underground working their way back into this, but really all it takes is a couple of quick rounds on this T side, and Vantage are thinking, you know what, it wasn't so bad after all. And they have, to be fair, been close in 1 or 2 of the rounds. This is definitely leaving a bit to be desired. Few Galils, couple of AAKs. Util already running pretty low. We've only got 1 flash left for Vantage, and that is going to be used to allow them to push out mid and have a bit of a look. Super not seeing anything. So really running the tap dry. This is going to have to just be some kind of contact play somewhere.
Mid to B. Util, progression molly deep on, only onto the cat stairs. I think that's been misthrown. A lot of miss mollies so far in this game. There's the progression smoke out upper dark. So look, Vantage, from what I'm seeing, feel like things fell apart in the mid to late round, right? Which is kind of true. They did establish good minimum control. My big issue right now is they just don't have much util left. Does seem like they're going to throw a B doors smoke, but from there they've got what, a smoke and a nade to get through the rest of this round, and there's still so much util left on the CT side. As they hit some good shots, this is probably not looking good for them.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing the way out for Vantage, am I? Mid to B smoke has been thrown. Bombs on its way back through lower dark. Yeah, this doesn't seem like it's going to end well at all. Omichella does end up going only 1 for 1, but still, you've got to get past the 2 members on that B bomb site. The rotation's coming through as well, and Coops at the back side. He only gets himself 1 mechanical drop. No way. This is the round?
I mean, they needed to hit shots. They hit shots, bro. You know, that they double walk through an upper dark smoke, and it's kind of working.
Raleigh's at least got them boxed into the site. There's a molly in his hands, but he has to win the duel. It's not about the util at this point anymore. This round has never been about the util. It's all about the fights. Night Raid gets his reload off. He's got the flash up in the sky, and now looking for Drox, won't get the kill. And that, of course, means the round will go the way of Vantage. And I can't believe that is the round of all the rounds that they're able to put over the line.
Yeah, they spent all their time and util resources on, you know, taking that mid control, and then just didn't really have a clear game plan in the mid to late round. It's almost like they just ran their default and didn't have any ideas following that. And they just had some good individual shots coming out, some decent spacing. Sometimes that's all you need to close out a round like that. So end of the day, got to give credit where credit's due. It is online CS. If you hit your shots, you're going to win some rounds. But for Vantage, they're going to need to come up with a little bit more than that, especially now that they've reduced their loss bonus. Especially if they don't get a bomb plant down, it's going to be a little harder for them to put a buy together. And as we mentioned, Underground's money is so healthy that they can continue to buy, you know. Raleigh and Mechanical starting to get a little broker, but I think they should still have a buy once more, even if they drop this round. So another attack timeout has come through. This game very, very close, which is unsurprising for 2 teams at this level. Night Raid's going to aggress into lowers.
He's been seen. Yeah, 100%. Govi's playing a dangerous game, though. He's got Super there to help him out. I guess they just want to try and trade this one down, worst case scenario, but there's still a player up on long, and the push coming from upper dark as well. This is crazy. Mingovi can't get away with his life here, surely not. He does. Of course he does. Omichella now needs to find himself a double, which he will. This game has it all. Jinx in a 1v1. He's gone for an upgrade to an M4, but Raleigh right through the mid doors is going to hear this rotation and maybe catch up with him. No, he's given away his position. Unbelievable. Molly's going to stop him in his tracks. He wants to go through it. I don't even know what to make of this one.
This
is be a huge clutch, though, for Jinx if he gets it.
Yeah, cue the Benny Hill music. This is an absolute mess. Push back into upper darks there for Raleigh. Jinx, we'll see if he plays process of elimination here, and he actually is. This is beautiful play from him in the 1v1. Smoking off upper dark. He's cleared doors behind him, and that nade is going to tell him exactly where Raleigh is.
Well, smoke and a flash into it is going to give Riley some room, but not enough. I don't believe it. These last 2 rounds that Vantage have won have just been the most unorthodox rounds you've ever seen. But they're up to 12 now.
Look, in round 20, they cooked themselves in. But in that last round, that was Underground just running into them. Like, let's be honest. They were just running their mid-default. Underground decided it's time to go ham. Run up cat, run through upper dark, aggress down lower. Did a really good job jiggling and pressuring Night Raid. And it came together for him. So you've got to give credit for Vantage for defending the aggression. Push out of long here has to be respected by Riley because, look, the truth of the matter is, guys, he's got a deagle and armor and that's it. Underground have taken cat control. In the meanwhile, the big weapon that you really want getting involved in this round is the AWP. And no one's picked Night Raid yet. I mean, if you get a deagle headshot at that range, then grats. But unfortunately, he's going to receive one rather than dish one out.
Might be the beginning of the end. It's been a good effort from Underground, but they just haven't given themselves enough leeway, enough room with that first half, getting only the 3 rounds on their T side. Vantage, though, they'll have to slide this one over the line, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. But Govi lining a couple up, and Mechanical seems to have been sniffed out. Really just going to leave Coops here, and he's good for 2. Of course he's good for 2. The game's not over yet. Don't worry about that, folks. Jinx and Jinxie, the double Js. You could honestly be forgiven for thinking they're the same person, but they're getting the kills. They're getting it done. Vantage I think they're gonna fall over the line, Pilsy. I think they will, but they're gonna get there. They have managed to finally get this one done. 13-9. That was a mammoth effort, really. But they do win.
What a game. Oh, that got crazy towards the end of it, but that's what we love about ECL. I mean, Vantage